I mean, you can watch it, um, but yeah, you just won't understand why, like what's going on and all that stuff. I wonder if I can do a Tataru voice. No, I can't. I don't know. I would just read it though. Apparently, our colleagues have stumbled across a hidden path leading down into the hollows around the base of the Crystal Tower. A path I doubt we'd ever have found had the ironworks and the Suns not added their numbers to the party. Thanks to them, we have eager eyes aplenty down there, checking under rocks and peering into every nook and cranny. Still, it sounds like there's a lot of ground to cover. Then we better go and give them a hand. Wow, she's so cute. My thoughts exactly. The sooner we find this beacon, the sooner you can travel to wherever it is this mysterious voice is coming from. And the sooner we can work out how to help our friends. We have to find a way to wake them up, and before the Empire comes calling again. Meaning we have no time to lose. There's a boat in North Silvertier waiting to ferry people to the site, so let's be on our way. Oh, this is a little louder than I expected. Let's see. There's no music here, it's so weird. Heading to the survey site, madam. It's on the eastern shore of the lake, and the swiftest way to get there is by boat. My boat. Take my boat. Take the boat, yes. Taiwanese! Wow, that's kind of racist. The search continues, but I have no doubt we shall find this beacon of yours. Yeah, I'll just continue story. No, but he straight up just called me Taiwanese. That is totally me speaking.
Should we get to it then? Pick up everything?
Never mind. You can... Yeah, that's fine. Maybe I should switch this to English as well. My god, he sounds retarded. I mean, he sounds special.
みんなで必ず装置を見つけるです。
ここらにはなさそうだな。
Shouldn't you be like digging under the rubble to find stuff?
お前隙間から奥に入れないか。
いくらオイラでもさすがに無理っす。
それじゃあ私がやるです。
タタルさんにそんなことさせられないっす。
心配無用です。私動ける受付なのです。
They're talking about something. Tataru, you shouldn't get stuck in there. You shouldn't be the one trying. Or something like that.
悪い、伝えてなかった。奥の方はまだ安全が確保されてないから。で、何か見つけたのか。おお、これまでの中では一番装置っぽいな。
その模様なんかちょっとうちのロゴに似てるっす。類似品にご注意っす。
捕らえた。今度こそ。
おい、大丈夫か。
何事っす。
さあすり抜けてくれるなよ。悠久の時を経てここに時空を超えよ。
もしかしてその装置が正解だったのですね。
我にその
Throw
門を開
wide the
け。
gates that we may pass.
どうかご無事で。
And we fall into a coma in the end. Thanks for watching. It does sound better. Cause like it, I don't know, they put, you know, since the game is based off Japanese, so I feel like they would do a better job. The Oracle of Light? Holy shit, it's bright. Speaking of light. Well, yeah, I mean, Wedge Because he's a Lalafell and he's a like a dum dum Lalafell, so they made his voice like kind of stupid, you know, like purposely. You know, when you're watching anime and you have that one sub character that's always like goofy, and then they always give them like a really dumb voice. Oh, this game is really fucking pretty.
果てのない夢から目を覚ますひどくおぼろげな予感がしかし確かに自分を呼んだ気がした
同業者ではなさそうだ。こんな真夜中にどうしたね。
What do you mean this time of night?
これはまたずいぶん懐かしい冗
Ain't
談
the
だ。
oldest joke in the
俺の
book.
じいさんも仲間と遅くまで飲むときに言ってたっけ。
When was the last time we've had a dark night?
お客さん、酔っ払うのはほどほどに。
Tell
暗い夜なん
when,
て
pray
来る
tell,
わけ
do
もない
we
じゃないで
last
すか。
have a dark night? Over 100 years.
世界から闇という
Yeah,
闇が失
over
われて
100 bleeding years.
100
That's
年だっ
when.
てばさ。
That was in a trailer. But it's not even nighttime. Look how bright it is. Is he blind?
どうした？まるで本当にわからないって顔じゃないか。さては、あいつらに襲われでもしたか。混乱しちまってかわいそうに。
What do you mean they got to me? Isn't this guy from the beginning?
俺は次の商いがあるからこのままよそに行っちまうが、お前さんは近くの町で保護してもらうといい。この森を東に抜けると巨大な水晶の塔が見える。そのたもとがここらで一番大きな都市。光に反逆せし者が集うクリスタリウムだ。
Start.
「その塔はどこまでも高くそびえていた。まるで光に覆われた空を裂くかのよう
Is
な。
that the Crystal Tower?
そこから戦いが再び始まる。光を闇に、正義を悪に覆していく戦いが。
Is This music gives me chills. Yeah, this is the start of Shadowbringers. You can kind of see my chat, so what the hell? There. Yeah, this is the beginning of Shadowbringers. They basically throw you into this place, and you're just like, what the hell? Purple trees, bright ass place. It reminds me of Terraria in like hard mode. After you kill like the wall of flesh, everything becomes like purple and all that good stuff. Like pixie-ish.
お待ちなさい。
Oh, she's pretty.
あなた見ない顔ですね。それにそのいでたちも。ご覧の通り、この先は私たちのクリスタリウムです。その警備を担う者として不審者を通すわけにはいきません。それで、あなたはどこから来たのです？
Yours, yeah. Limsa, Lominsa, the source, Limsa?
聞いたこともない名ですね。今さら
What do
知
you
ら
mean
ない
no
土地な
such
どない
place
はずです
exists?
が。クリスタリウムでは身分や出身は重要視されません。しかしペテン師の類はあいにく受け入れていませんので。
I thought she was about to attack me. Rude.
Hitoを食らったばかりでしたか。どんな食い方をしたやら苦々しい。
Oh no.
Raina, 大丈夫か?
ええ、水晶港。はぐれの積み食い。しかも低級な輩です。
Oh, I skipped her dialogue. Whoops.
よかった。しかし、念のため周辺の警戒を頼む。それから、この者は私の客人だ。このまま町に連れて行きたいのだが、いいだろう。
Your guess? I don't even know who you are.
また河の謎めいたご友人でしたか。
Another?
了解しました。今後は自由に出入りできるよう団員たちにも伝えておきます。先ほどの無礼お許しを。クリスタリウムへの滞在が良いにもたまりません。
I mean, yeah, no problem. It's okay.
ともかく、ここを離れよう。いろいろと質問はあるだろう。 さて、何よりもまず召喚に応じてくれたことに。本来なら私の部屋に呼び出すはずが、座標がずれてしまってすまなかった。それでも正しく渡ってこられたよ。ここは紛れもなく 13ある共造世界の一つ、第一世界。
The realm in which you now find yourself belongs to one of the 13 reflections or shards, the first to be precise.
そして私は水晶湖
As to wherefore, having been awarded the rather grandiose title
私の
of
管理者にして
Crystal
あな
Exarch,
た方
I,
を召喚したもので
in my capacity as caretaker of the Crystarium, thought to seek the aid of you and your companions. So he's the one that's been calling us?
ああ、だが事態はいささか複雑だ。順をまずは一つ、あなたに知ってもらいたいことがある。ここ第一世界
Here in the first, the world has been all but consumed by primordial light. Oh shit.
こちらの時間において100年
It
前に
began a century ago
光
by
の
this
氾濫
realm's
という大災
reckoning,
害が
a
発生。
luminous flood swallowing everything in its path. More than 9/10 of the star was lost,
わずかに生き残った
and the
人類
fortunate few who survive are hounded by abominations born of that catastrophe even now.
その化け物こそ
Sin
が
eaters,
罪
we
食
call
い
them.
私はこの地を罪食いから救うべく世界と世界をつなぐ術を習得し最強のそしてそれはあなた方の世界原初世界を救うことにもつながるのだが大切な客人をこんな場所に立たせておくのも気が引ける。
Yeah, it's crystallized. His arm is crystallized. I think they explain it later, but it's something about him being like part of the Crystal Tower, basically.
驚いたのはその活気だ。滅びの世界にありながら生きぬために作られた都市。人々は希望を込めて石を積み、死に絶えてたまるかと町そのもので訴えていた。ここで出会う多くの者がいずれ冒険者を遥か遠くへと導いていくのだろう。
Northrend. Crystarium. Welcome to the Crystarium. Oh, I should be reading this. There's no more voice. As you can see, this path will take you directly to the Aetherite, a convenience with which I am sure you are only too familiar. Being the rightful object of my summoning spell, you should in theory be able to reach all the way back along your etheric trail and find a connection in the source, believe it or not. I strongly suggest you complete this attunement before venturing any further. Well, I mean, whenever you see an aetheryte, you should be attuning to it anyways. After you have done so, walk up the steps next to the aetheryte and head out to the left to arrive in the crystalline main. This is where you'll find our collective of crafters and gatherers, as well as their spokeswoman, Catless, one of the people I should like you to meet. I can read. Another is Morin. To reach him and his cabinet of curiosity, you'll want to avoid the aforementioned steps. Take the exit on the left and simply continue straight along and down until you come to large doors at the end of the path. The third and final person I should like you to meet is Bragi, the man in charge of trade and distribution. He is to be found in the markets, which you can access from the opposite side of the Aetheryte Plaza. I'm going to switch it to English too. In seeking out each of my colleagues, you will visit the major districts of the city and hopefully gain a feel for the place. I trust your directions were simple enough, or my directions were simple enough. Crystal clear. But ha, very good. I concede. The layout of the Crystarium owes more to historic necessity than planning, but I'm sure you'll learn its twists and turns before long. In all honesty, the true challenge may be in finding the right way to approach its citizens. As you discovered during your encounter with the captain, the people of this world are unaware of the existence of other stars and will struggle to accept the truth of your origin. That being said, that being the case, when they ask you whence you hail, as they inevitably will, I suggest you claim to share a homeland with the Crystal Exarch. There is an unspoken rule here about peering too deeply into that particular mystery. When you finish making the rounds, pray meet me in the large courtyard at the center of the town. Until then. Yo, reading is hard. Let's see other settings. Cutscene. English. Okay. By focusing your sense of okay. So first he said go down here. Well, he said up there, but I'm gonna go down here first. She's not that far ahead, so can probably catch up. Let's talk to this guy here. I think his name is Morin. Excuse me, miss. Are you recently come to the city, perchance? I'm quite familiar with our civic roles, you see, and, well... Is that dude or a guy? Or a dude or a girl? I can't tell. Anyways, I don't know what Morin is. Is it a dude or a girl? Or I don't know. But, what I mean to ask is, have you brought any books with you? A rumpled scroll even? A scrap of scribbled on parchment? No. Oh, my apologies. Literature is something of an obsession of mine, as well as a profession. Librarian Morin at your service, and this humble collection is known as the Cabinet of Curiosity. As your powers of perception have likely informed you, my colleagues and I are responsible for curating all manner of tomes, documents, and other vehicles for the written word. As horrific as the loss of life and land wrought by the flood unquestionably was, the damage to recorded knowledge was no less catastrophic. We few do all we can to preserve what wisdom survived. But tell me, what brings you to the cabinet today? Looking for any title in particular? Mayhap a spot of academic research? Oh, aha! So, you've an interest in modern history. Splendid! A thorough review of recent events can often yield novel perspectives. I quite agree. If you would prefer something visual to accompany the account, then I think I have an illustrated history book for children somewhere. Wait, what? For children? Is it because I'm a Lalafell? Just a moment, and I'll fetch it for you. Racist. And here we are. Would you like to pull up a chair? Make yourself more comfortable? On with the lesson then. I think that's a lady elf. A 100 years ago, or near enough not to matter, villains known as the Warriors of Light slew the Shadowkeeper, the Steward of Darkness. In the wake of this tainted deed, light began to pour into the world as if from unseen cracks. It pulled and swelled without cease until the day an enormous blinding wave rose up and swept across our star. We called this calamity the Flood of Light. Everything it touched was leached of life and vigor, leaving naught behind but a luminous wasteland. Yet, just when it seemed that all would be lost, the Savior appeared before us, the Oracle of Light. She stood twixt us and approaching doom, and by her power did she stay the flood. Thus was Norvant, and Norvant alone, spared the fate of Eraser. Tragedy would, however, arrive in another form. From the blasted emptiness descended horrors of strange and terrible aspect to bedevil the few folk who survived. These sin-eaters were light incarnate, and their fulgent presence stole the night from Norvant's skies. Even now, they circle the remaining basins of civilization, ever on the hunt for us, ever hungering for flesh. For fresh? And thus did the world become what it is. Should you ever wish to hear the tale again, I would be glad to retell it for you. Or if you would rather I speak of other matters, that too would be my pleasure. I should be glad of the company. Your exchange with Morin has taught you about the Flood of Light. fresh, fresh. That's how I see it. Fresh, fresh. Fresh flesh. Flesh, fresh. Fresh, fresh. Flesh, flesh? Fresh, fresh. Rare to see a place so well stocked with goods, isn't it? But not here. I'm going to guess you're new to our fair city? Well, for what it's worth, you've chosen a fine sanctuary. Exarch can throw up a barrier if the Sin Eaters come knocking, so it's a damn sight safer in here than it is out there. Safer and more civilized too, thanks to us in the main. We work together to procure materials and resources, and craft the goods which make the city life possible. This is the place to visit if you need a coat mended or a kettle forged. Just don't go thinking it'll all be handed to you on a plate like those and more in layabouts. Here in the Crystarium, we work for a living. Though I see you're no stranger to honest labor. You don't have that whiff of indolence about you like some folk I've met. Still, I can't quite pin down your profession. Where is it you're from? Not Limsa? One of the Exarch's countrymen, you say? I see. Well then, I'll work twice as hard to make you feel welcome. Our city wouldn't even exist if it weren't for him, and any friend of his is a friend of ours. Oh, right. It's really quite incredible when you think about it. They say his grand magic summoned the Crystal Tower into existence, pulled the entire thing out of thin air. It wasn't long before droves of refugees began congregating around its base, desperate for shelter after losing their homes to the flood. And that's how the Crystarium began. At the Exarch's invitation, buildings started going up, and with the help of some curious relics brought forth from the tower, the place gradually expanded into the thriving metropolis you see today. The city stood here for decades now, yet the eldest among us swear the Exarch looks exactly the same as he did back then. He is indeed a man of many mysteries, but for all his secrecy, he has never yet let us down. So if he and you wish to remain silent about your shared homeland, then the folk here will respect your wish of privacy. I am, however, more than a little curious to see any crafting talent you might be hiding. If you've ought to contribute on that front, be sure to come back and visit once you've had the chance to settle in. Just ask for a catalyst, and I'll find you a niche here in the crystalline main. You can help us keep the cogs of the city greased and turning. She's taught me about life in the Crystarium. Her dialogue is much easier to read than that other person's. Whoa. Wow, thanks for more biddies. Titties, biddies. Biddies for titties? No, sorry. Can't do that. Maybe. Yeah, this place is really pretty. I really like the city. It's well done. I don't think I can jump down from there. Hi, Lalafell. It's a Lalafell. What? Now you're number 1 in the biddy count. The all-time biddy count goes to Helix Curve. think there's one more NPC we have to talk to, and then meet Gucci to talk to this other dude. Or the first dude, the Crystal dude. Crystal Exarch dude. Dude? I want to get that Aether Shard first. So. See, doesn't this place look cool? Wouldn't you want to see this place for yourself? Haha. No rush. Oh, there's Braggy. This is kind of like the marketplace sort of place. Marketplace place. Place of the marketplace kind of place. New to the city, friend? Or new to the city, friend? The spinning head and wide eyes give you away. Welcome, my name is Braggy, and I'm the master of these markets. They gave the district another official title, but I'm not in the habit of using it. Too flirt by half. In any case, our merchants stock a wide range of equipment, so we should have something in your size. Forgive my asking, but you are a dwarf, yes? We don't get many of your lot coming down from the mountain these days. Actually, I'm a Lolfell? Must be a dialect I'm not familiar with. Let's see if we can straighten this out. See those two in front of us? The shorter one is a hume, and the taller one is an elf. That sturdy individual is a Gulgent, while the one with the horns is a Drawn. That's a Bamaja, right? Oh. And then you have the large scaly chaps with long tails and knack for raising livestock. Those would be the Zoom. Which is apparently not what you call them. Do the dwarves have different names for all the people of the world, or did you pick up the common tongue in some other far-flung region? Ah, the same as the Exarch, eh? Well, that explains it. You won't get much further flung than that. We've had a few of your lot pass through in recent years, and despite their obvious learning, they floundered over the simplest things. But not to worry. Should you find yourself confused by the local language or customs, I'll be here to answer your questions. Well, how did you fare? Did my colleagues help you form a clearer picture of this world and its people? Oh, I see. Okay. Yes, it seems you were treated to a most thorough introduction. I understand it was something of a chore, but it was necessary that you grasp these things before we proceed. As for a Crystal Tower's origin, you may have noted that details were sparse. The structure is, in fact, the self-same one you know from the source, transported to the first in its entirety. It was my first attempt at breaching the boundaries between worlds, something of a trial run for your eventual crossing, and although I do not know which era I tore it from, I do know that its arrival served to set the wheels of fate in motion. You've done as I requested, and learned something of the world in which you find yourself. Now, it's time I fulfilled my half of the bargain and explain what has befallen your comrades. That is a conversation I would rather have in the privacy of my quarters, however. I must go on ahead to the tower and organize a few things, but I shall see that the guard knows to admit you. Greetings, madam. The Exarch awaits you within. Enter Crystal Tower? Yeah. Wow. Holy shit, dude. What? Thanks for the biddies.
Welcome to the Ocular, my private study.
Thanks for biddies, man. You really don't have to, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Holy shit. What are you doing, dude? Thank you again, but you want me to buy you cookout?
I have much to explain, but the truths which I must touch upon in doing so would cause only distress and confusion to the people of this world. Pray keep that in mind.
Holy shit.
I am sure you are desperate to know the fate of your fellow Scions.
Thanks again, man. Well, I mean, next time if we ever go to Raleigh finally or something, I'll buy you a cookout tray.
To put it simply, they are here in the first. Their arrival, however, was not as recent as you may imagine. Here, time flows at a different pace from that of the source. In the space of a single hour in your home world, an entire year might pass in the first, and the reverse could also be true. The pace fluctuates without rhyme or reason, and it cannot be predicted. That said, we seem to be entering a period of near equivalence, and thus, for the moment, you need not overly concern yourself with the passage of time. As for your companions, however, Y'shtola and Urianger have dwelt here for 3 winters, all told, while Thancred's count stands at 5.
Wow.
Even our more recent arrivals, Alphino and Alize, have lived in the first for almost a year. My intention had been to summon only you, but the art of reaching across worlds has proven exceedingly difficult to master. Thus it was that my fumbling hand closed upon those to whom your fate is most closely bound as well. As they were not the object of my summons,
What the hell? Why is Thancred always naked?
incomplete. Though they may appear to possess corporeal bodies, they are in truth merely spirits that one can see and touch. Consequently, while you yourself will be able to pass between worlds with relative freedom, they will not. Much as it grieves me, they are stranded here, unable to return.
Oh shit.
We spent every waking hour searching for a way to reverse the summoning. In the beginning, at least.
Holy shit. What in the world, man? That's 420. You've given 420 biddies. I don't have 420 titties.
As you may have surmised,
For the biddies.
however, our efforts met with little success. And then we all but abandoned the endeavor once Urianger shared with us the vision he had
But no,
witnessed during
seriously
his
though,
journey
thank
through
you.
the rift.
I appreciate it.
In that chaotic no man's land between realms, time and space warp and blend in unexpected ways. What Urianger saw
Oh
the
my
future.
god.
that which
Why?
would
Why
remain
are you
past.
doing this? Okay, good. Stop. Thank you. Thank you so much.
In his vision of tomorrow, the first was rejoined with the source. This collision of worlds brought about the 8th umbral calamity and the deaths of countless multitudes.
Thank you,
Amongst
man. I
those who
appreciate it.
perished, Urianger clearly saw the fall of the Scion's mightiest champion. He watched you die.
Me die?
And thus did the Scions embrace their exile, and began searching this world for a means to forestall the coming catastrophe in yours. Their souls are stranded in the first, yes, but they have fought on, desperate to save their home and you from destruction. Nor have their efforts been in vain, for it was they who finally established that the elimination of the Sin Eaters will indeed serve to prevent the calamity. Considering these circumstances of our meeting, you would be forgiven for doubting my version of events.
Oh my god.
Before
You,
all else,
you, s-
I would suggest
dude.
you track down your comrades and
Thank
hear the
you,
tale from
but
their lips.
you should.
I shall of course be happy to assist in these reunions, and you need not make any
Seriously,
decisions
though.
regarding your involvement until you are certain
That's
of where you
like
stand.
619 more biddies than I expected ever.
Meanwhile, I promise I will not rest until I have found a way to help your friends return home. What say you? Have I earned your trust for the moment, at least? Excellent. You will not regret this. With that settled, we shall have to see about getting you ready for the road.
The road.
Traveling across the rift has no doubt left you weary. I will arrange for a room where you might rest in comfort. While it's being prepared, perhaps I can show you around.
Stranger danger, stranger danger. Let's see, voice. The Crystarium boasts a number of residential districts, but I have been informed that a room has just become available in the Pendants, which, as it turns out, is perfect. Our path there will take us past the markets, and I was hoping to give you my own introduction to their wares. Come along. Wow, he disappeared.
This is the Musica Universalis, the commercial heart of the Crystarium. What you might need to prepare for your journeys can be purchased here. Ah, yes. You must be curious about the currency. Fear not. The gil you carry will serve you well enough.
Oh,
Each
that's
nation once
convenient.
minted its own coins, but 'twas all a jumbled mess following the flood. After much debate, the local merchants eventually elected to revert to the old ways, wherein a coin's value was decided by the worth of its metal. As for a unit of measurement, we agreed upon the term gil, a word borrowed from coins uncovered within the Crystal Tower here. And as our traders peddled their wares across the land, so too did our usage of gil become common practice. From what your stola tells me, a standard coin from the source equates to exactly
Oh my
1 gil
god.
here, or near enough, not to matter.
An anonymous cheer. Whoa, thank you. I wonder who it was.
Our way of life has benefited greatly from the artifacts we recovered
Seriously
from the
though,
tower.
thank you. Thank you, anonymous.
Some of which may be familiar to you.
Wow, tombstones. Wait, they're phones. Yeah, they're phones.
But I fear it would not be practical for us to provide everything to which you are accustomed. You shall need a means to access the commodities of your homeworld.
Oh my god.
A Van
Dude.
Kerm Sin?
That's 1,000 biddies, man. I know you're the anonymous one too. Thank you so much. Holy crap, and you subbed? Jeez.
Yes, I'm here. Of course I'm here. What amusements do you have for me today?
What the world?
My dear Feo Ul, paragon of pixie kind. For you, I have the most vital task. This fine lady is a friend from a distant realm. And we have need of a means to ferry things back and forth from her home. Might you be able to assist us in this matter?
You came from beyond, didn't you? From beyond the rift.
Oh my god, her voice in English is so bad.
How wonderfully exciting. What a brave and reckless and marvelous thing you did. You've the heart of a pixie, you do.
It almost sounds like me trying to have a falsetto voice for a female.
Make a pact with me and the fun can begin. But answer me this, traveler. Did your garments come with you when you crossed over? Your teeth? Your nails?
Yes?
Just as I thought. Then you've a good stout connection with your home through which all your belongings, great and small, may easily pass. From this moment forth I will be your Isne Fis, and you my Snay Yak.
What?
Like the branch which sprouts from the sapling, our bond will flow unbroken from one to the other.
What the hell?
Raise your hand.
What's wrong with her? What is this, magic? Huh.
'Tis done. We are bound now, dearest sapling. Come then. Make your request. Tell me your desire. I wish to visit this world of yours.
What's wrong with her? Jesus Christ.
Mayhap her message to your friends in the source to inform them of your safe arrival.
Consider it done.
Oh.
As you heard, that was Feo Ul of the Pixies. Their kind possess an affinity for magic akin to that of arcane beings. They rarely show themselves in populated areas, but Feo is insatiably curious even by pixie standards, and seems to have taken a liking to the Crystarium.
Oh, that's good.
Right, we were going to organise a room for you, weren't we? Come along.
So they basically like tie up any lore ends. Like, oh, how come I can use the market board, or how come I can use the retainers, even though if I'm on a different world, and they like tie up any lore loose ends. So, and then you know, using Gil and all that too. It's like, well, lore wise, here you go. Wait, how come they're not stacked together? Ah, there you are. I was just finalizing the matter of your accommodation. You'll have a private room here in Independence for the duration of your stay to make use as you see fit. When you are ready to retire, the manager will show you to your lodgings. Pray rest and recuperate, and we shall reconvene in the ocular anon. I believe that covers all of the practical concerns. Thank you for answering my call, Taiwanese. we are denied the comforting blanket of night, and may peaceful dreams attend you nonetheless. A pleasure to meet you, miss, and welcome to your new home at the Penance. Your room is ready if you care to retire. Yes. Oh, this is big inn room. I wish hotels that I stayed at were like this. What the world?
I know you. You're the warrior of light from the source. What? Did you just... You can hear me?
Yeah?
Gods, how long has it been? That was what I called myself in your world. The warrior of darkness.
Well, by the way, if you've watched Game of Thrones, the voice actor for this Warrior of Darkness is the same as the actor for Gendry Waters, whatever his last name was. Gendry, the bastard of Robert
My real name
Baratheon.
is Ardbert. I used an alias in the source, a daft one, looking back. If you recall my tale, it was my comrades and I who caused the flood. We thought our home doomed. And so we listened to the Ascians. Let them guide us to the source, and tried to hasten their god's damned ardor. I remember when we fell, defeated by you and yours. I remember our audience with Minfilia. How she listened to our pleas and returned our souls to the first. The flood was poised to swallow Norvrant. Minfilia and my friends, they surrendered what little they had left to hold it back. Just faded away, leaving me to bear witness. Tell me, do you know the year? How much time has passed since we caused the flood?
Over 100 bleeding years.
100 years. 100 long years. My hands find no purchase. My gestures catch no eye, and my pleas, be they whispered or screamed, reach not a single ear. I am a shade, cursed to do naught but drift. I feel as if I've been walking forever. I hardly noticed when my mind and body began to fray at the edges. Then bang! My senses were sharp again. I felt like a fish being reeled in, and before I knew it, I found myself in this room. Why is it that you can see me? What are you even doing here, come to that?
Well, that's one way to greet a friend.
You were summoned to save the first. A waste of time. This world is beyond saving, like those who tried to save it. Muddled as my mind may be, I've not forgotten that. But if fate has brought me to you, the one person in this God's forsaken world who can see and hear me, then perhaps there is a reason I endured. If I can find out why I was left behind, then maybe I can bring this journey of mine to an end. Well, I'll be watching, Warrior of Light. But do me a favor. Be careful out there. This world has had its fill of heroes.
His story is really sad. Is that how Lawless sleep? I don't think I can sleep on my back like that. I always, sleep on my sides. Fucking Lawless. It didn't show how I walked down the stairs. Do Lalafels like roll down the stairs? Speak with the Crystal Exarch at the Ocular. Okay. Oh, wait.
How did you find your new quarters? I trust you were able to rest.
His voice has this sarcasm behind it in English.
I was not aware the room was haunted.
The room
and
haunted?
You were rather tired. Well, should you receive another visitation, be sure to let me know.
Sounds so
Let us
sarcastic.
return to the subject of the Scion's whereabouts.
Oh, world map.
This map shows the lands of Northrend, the only area to be spared the flood of light.
So it's just like Eorzea.
The Crystarium is here, in the region known as Lakeland. To the north is the fairy kingdom of Il-Meg. That is where you'll find Urianger. To the east lies the once prosperous civilization of Rak-Tika. Your Stola is stationed there, in the heart of the forest.
Of course she would be.
Alas, neither location can be reached without considerable difficulty. As such, I would suggest you first seek out one of the twins, each of whom is stationed but a short flight from the Crystarium. Alphino is on Calusia, an island off the western shore. It is home to a city called Yulmore, where the rich and privileged while away their days in idleness. For his part in furthering our cause, Alphino journeyed there to meet with the citizenry and forge alliances. From what I hear, he has since kept himself busy gathering information around the main settlement. Alize, meanwhile, traveled south to the arid wastes of Armorang. They lie upon the very edge of the inhabitable world, where the flood of light was halted. Those who dwell there live in constant fear of attack by the Sin Eaters. In contrast to her brother, Alize felt that her energies would better be spent learning about the enemy, and thus she sells her services as a guard, both to hone her skills and gather information on our foe.
Wait, where's Thancred?
So, will it be Calicia or Armorang? It matters not which you choose to visit first. Simply inform me once you've made your decision, and I will see to it that you are provided with a suitable mount. Ah, but you must be wondering about Thancred.
Yeah.
He has taken up with a new companion, and is presently engaged as a wandering hunter of Sin Eaters.
A new companion?
Being ever on the move, his whereabouts are often difficult to ascertain, but I am certain your paths will cross ere long.
Yeah, he's probably nude somewhere. No doubt. With a new companion. I'll take both these quests. Thank you. New location. Alice is cuter anyways, so.
Armorang. From this parched earth, the nation of Nabath, Arang once rose. When I journeyed here, long ago, I spoke with a sun-weathered elder. He told me Armorang meant majestic land in the language of his people. And so it might still be, were it not for the light's unrelenting onslaught.
Amaray. I used to call it Amaran. Oh, I should have read this. Oh well. Alright, you lot I'm off, and I better not see the goods covered in sand when I get back. Yeah, they're big, boss. Right, we head southwest, straight as an arrow. I don't think anyone says that. Okay. I also need intercurrents. Stop here a moment. This is your first visit to Amarang, is it not? Before you cross the river of sand, you need to turn around and feast your eyes on that. Wow. Oh, I need that too. So you have to find these aether currents in order to fly in that zone. So, and there's aether currents for each zone. There's like 10 that you have to find in the world map, like in the open world. And like 5 or 6 quest ones. They built them big, didn't they? That's Khazar Shar, a fortress meant to protect the northern reaches of Naboth Arang. Seeing what was left behind, I believe it when they say that it was once one of Norvon's mightiest nations. At least until the flood came along, great chunks of Naboth Arang, its lands were lost to the light, its great city included. The few who survived didn't see much of a point in staying. Most of them, anyway. No, not many choose to come here these days. Not with everything in ruins. Even that hulking grey fortress has become little more than an Amaro roost for me and my caravan. Wow, cavern? What's wrong with me? But not everything is as deserted as this place. Just wait until you see Mortsuk. Let's press on, shall we? So, like, Amarang, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 that you find in the open world, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quest ones, or 6. You can't really tell. Southeast. Here. Oh, it's up there. Luckily, there's this compass that you can use to find it. Or, like, it'll tell you. So, like, the other one is 325 yams to the south, so this area, yeah. Here we are. Mortsuk. By the blessed shadow, I love this town. Mortsuk, not just full of Mord, but humans and all manners of others, too. It has long been a refuge for folk displaced by the flood, so the population is nothing if not diverse. Oh, have you met a Mord before? They might look like shifty little blighters, but a more welcoming lot you can never wish to meet. Speaking of which, we should pay our respects to Master Gingen. Gengin? Whatever. Genjin? I'll go ahead and let him know we've arrived. Gingin. And Jiao. Jiao? Gen. That's a Kabul.
Master Gengen. This
Oh,
is the friend
Gengen.
of the Exarch I was telling you about.
That's not. Well, that is a voice that
Very
I.
good, very good. Though friend or no, all are welcome in Maud's.
Souk is Mordish for city. As things stand, this souk boasts the largest and busiest marketplace in all Armorang. You'll find ore from the mines here, of course, but all manner of other things too. Many of them rare. As I told you before, not many visit Armorang by choice, but Mord Souk's a different story. Merchants come from
different
miles around
story.
to purchase the relics the Mord dig up.
Aye, that they do. For Mauds do not dismiss the spoils of the earth. We clean them and polish them and reveal to the world their true value. That is why they come here, come from far away, come with much money. And so our souk is always busy. No such thing as a thing no one needs.
You say that every time, Master Gengen. Some sort of family motto, wasn't it? Or perhaps a Mord philosophy, for which we should all be very grateful. Would that everyone was so willing to take in refugees regardless of race or creed.
Yeah, America.
Now then, if you intend to spend any time here, you'll want to gain the trust of the locals. And there's a little custom all newcomers are expected to observe.
The cracking of the coin purse. You buy one thing from the market. Price can be low or high, just as long as you buy.
Oh.
As the good Mord says. In fact, the Exarch sent a little something to cover this very expense. A Verbert gold piece, no less. The first I've held in years.
Verbert gold? Real Verbert gold?
Oh no.
Here, newcomer, crack your coin purse with me.
Oh no, you want my goods, newcomer? I have jars and pots all smooth and shiny.
What do I do with jars and pots?
Come and look.
You buy.
Enough of that! Calm, I say! This one must still journey through the barrens. Nothing bulky, nothing heavy, no pots. Nothing better for the road than a full belly. Spend that piece at Ronron's place, yes? Eat for 3 before you leave.
Ron. Welcome to Ron's, traveler. I have wares to empty your purse and fill your belly. Take your time. Stare and sniff before you choose, but no drooling on the merchandise, yes? That's my ever-burning bounty made with the best parts of the lizard, cured with special spicy spices. Some find the smell challenging, but it'll warm you up on chilly desert nights. I call that mush loaf. The middle is stuffed with bittersweet cactus fruits, so even if the bread dries out, it's still moist inside. Keeps you going in the heat. About these frogs. Oh, you'll like those. Chewy skewers. Find small frogs hiding under rocks, spear with stick, then roast over fire. Crackly on the outside, gooey on the inside. Perfect for snacking. Silly customer, you cannot eat Ron. Not even for a Volbert gold piece. Everyone's favorite. Plump white worms slathered in honey. Once you eat a glazed wriggler, you'll never want any other treat. Yeah, I might pass on that. They all look tasty, yes? Which to choose? Which to choose? Chewy skewer. Chewy. A quick, easy meal to carry you across the desert. You have the gold? And done. One Volberit honor buys you 65 skewers. Am I sick? Is that what happened? Will you eat the lot? Let's share the rest. Our visitor invites us to a feast. Let us give thanks for her great generosity and small appetite. Consider your coin purse cracked. I am pleased to accept your custom, and Gengen will be pleased that you honored ours. Keeping the merchandise down? Yes. No returns. Let's go talk to Master Gengen. But what does this have to do with finding Alice? You will always be welcome in Morsuk. If you need anything on my ring, we are here to provide. Ha ha ha! You have courage, my friend. Runwant's rares are more exotic than harmful, but I don't envy you the bellyache you'll have on tomorrow. Right, now that you've eaten, I expect you're eager to get back on the road. Would you mind if we delayed our departure a touch? I have a few deals left to close before I can conclude my business here in Morsuk. Sure. Oh, offering your services, are you? Well, an assistant would certainly help hurry things along. I have a receipt here for some goods I need picking up from the markets. All properly paid for. You just need to do the lifting and carrying. I'll go and take care of some last-minute haggling then. See you in a bit. I remember this one? Table cactus and iron ore. I need to talk to Tauntaun, Totol, and Mil to be collected from Momo. Here's Momo. Hey, no touching. That merchandise is broken for it. You can possibly change my mind with a better offer. What? Kessler sent you? Well, why didn't you say so? I wouldn't dream of selling his goods to a higher bidder. No. The Batarang relics, wasn't it? All packed in a box here. Handle with care. Sure. Hey, wait, here's Toto. But I need Totol. What the fuck? Well, here's Tauntaun. You came in with Cassard, yes? Good. I can finally stop thinking about that sack. What? Please, take your prickly purchase. Okay, now I'm looking for Totol. Where's Totol? Alright, see ya. Thanks again, man. Holy shit. 1,020 biddies. Thank you so much. Cassar sent you, did he? Right, yes. What kind of ore was it again? Iron ore. Iron ore, of course. That would explain this box I have here. It's all yours. Don't tell me you've been round. Don't tell me you've been round the entire market already. Alright, that's a lot, alright. Good work. And quick work too, considering you've not set foot in the place before. I thought you'd want to sit in a city like the Exarch, but something tells me you're not a stranger to visiting strange lands. Unfortunately, your efficiency presents something of a problem. I'd hoped to conclude all my business before you return, but it seems there's been some confusion over one of my orders I placed. I'll have to drag in my middleman and sort this mess out. I'm sorry to make you sit around and twiddle your thumbs. Kazar? It feels like an age since I last saw you. Well, if it isn't the lovely Teslin, it has been a while, but your timing couldn't be better. This lady was on her way to meet with LSA. I'm supposed to be taking her to your corner of the desert, but a misplaced order has commandeered my attention. Wait, I know who you are. LSA has told me so much about you. You're Taiwanese, aren't you? Wow, way to assume. That's Laces. I knew it. How wonderful to meet you in the flesh after hearing all those stories. I'm Teslin. I work as a carer at the inn, and I've gotten to know LSA quite well since she took up guard duties there. Do you want me to take over as Taiwanese's guide, Kazard? My shopping is all done and packed for the road. so it would be no trouble. That would be great help, thanks. He said thank you, but you know, whatever. Well, it looks like you'll be able to head straight out after all. My caravan and I will be in the area for a while yet. Seek me out when you've had your fill of Amarang, and I'll send you back to Crystarium. Great. I need water. It isn't too hard to find, really. You can actually see the top of the rock spires from here. We just need to swing around the ridge, then head south. Come on. I'll get my supplies ready and meet you outside. Wow, that was fast. All set? Oh, I should probably mention the wildlife. While most of them will leave you be if you keep your distance, the local coyotes have learned to prey on folk heading home from the markets. I can usually swing a sword well enough to fend them off, but I may have loaded myself with too many bargains today. Do you think you can handle any beasts that try to make a meal of us? I thought you might. Alisei was saying how much I mean, let's get going, shall we? Yes. But first, there's a third current cluster thingy bob. From Master Gengen. Whoops. Oh well. Bad habit. Gengen wants me to find Gun. Search the nooks, search the crannies, search high, search low. Oh, sorry, I did not see you there. Are you lost? Father says I must rest. That will not do. No. I will stop, but not yet. I need something to show for my efforts. All this scrabbling, all this searching, and still no shinies. You came here to tell me to stop, but I refuse. Your job will not be finished, will it? This will not do. That will not do either. Wait, I have an idea. If you help me find shinies, my job will be over. Your job will be over, and I can rest. Simple, yes? That's how I imagine them talking, like... shinies. Look under that rubble and find whatever there is to be found. Maybe it will be valuable, maybe not. Either way, let us keep searching until we get at least one shiny. At least it's not shiny Pokemans. No shinies. No shinies. Of course it would be the last one. Find a signet ring. That's a real shiny right there. What did you find? Not more rubble, I hope. Whoa, this looks very special. Such pretty patterns. I have never seen one like this before. But how much is it worth? I am an expert in finding shinies, not a historian. Perhaps we should ask someone. Once we sell it, we will divide the profits between us. We worked as a team, so half for you, half for me. Fair is fair. It's okay, I don't want your profits. The battle music here is good. They're aggroing me now. They were just fine a second ago. Wow. Oh my god. Sorry, there wasn't much time to shout a warning. Were you bitten? Those things can be nasty. And yet hardly a match for you, it seems. I'd always thought Alice was strong, but in her mind, she was never... Well, now it makes sense. Well, we should push on. It might be best if you scout ahead and clear out any coyotes that have our scent. I'll wait here so you can fight without any distractions. I don't know why it's so hard to read. English hard. Oh, dry up. Oh, really? She's gonna be all the way back there? Okay. Oh, thank goodness you're back. I could hear the howling and snarling from here. Frightful creatures. Let's hope the rest have seen your heart at your handiwork and know to avoid us now. I really cannot read. Oh man. I'm stupid. I need to get these supplies back to the inn. .333 southwest, that would be like near this pin. Oh my goodness. This is it. Thanks to you, I didn't have to drop my shopping even once. Come to think of it, I'm glad I didn't make the trip alone. It seems you ended up escorting me. I'll have to repay the favor somehow, but first, let's head inside, shall we? Welcome to the inn at Journey's Head. You might be our first visitor from the Crystarium since Alice arrived. It's not much, but it's home for the afflicted and a handful of carers. You don't know? I don't think I've met anyone besides Alice who is so unfamiliar with our situation here. Most folk have grown up knowing someone who knew someone. I might leave out something obvious, so it may be best to have Alice give you the full explanation. No, where is she? I think she might be out on patrol. You could wait, I suppose, but why not go and surprise her? She usually takes a look at things from the watchtower first, so you might be able to catch her from there. It's not far. Head out the south side and you'll see that you'll soon see it. I'll stay behind in case she comes back while you're gone. Sally sells seashells at the seashore. Watchtower. Is it up there? The current? Southeast, it is up there. Alice says, nowhere to be seen. We spot fresh footprints on the ground, and they look to be about the right size. Small footprints. Northwest. More northwest. Goldman. Oh. Curving west. Oh, there's a spot up there. Haha, cutscene. You can't attack me while I'm in a cutscene. And then after a cutscene, I'm dead, right? Yo, it's really hard to read.
Get back here!
Is that... It can't be.
Why is her voice so much deeper in English? It's not like she's 34.
Just a lesser sin eater. Nothing to write home about. I knew you'd turn up sooner or later, but I had been hoping for sooner.
Wow. Is this legal?
How are you?
Why does she sound like an old lady? What is this, man? English sucks. Right? Hey, how's it going, donut? Oh, sorry, they called me, how's it going, Taiwanese? Meanwhile, Alice, Alpha Nod sounds like no pears growing.
The Exarch did say that the Empire seemed to have drawn back when he last looked in on the source. But without knowing for sure how fast time was passing there, I couldn't help worrying that a lot might have happened since then. I'm heartily relieved to hear that it hasn't, just as Alphino must have been. As you can imagine, both he and Urianger were desperate to hear the news from home when I arrived. I haven't actually seen Thancred and Y'shtola yet, but they will have heard all the latest developments from the Exarch by now, or should have at least.
I think so.
When I think of how frantic Tataru and the others must be, I want nothing more than to rush back and reassure them. But we still haven't found a way to reverse the summoning. And even if we had, we couldn't just ignore Urianger's vision. He may use 10 words where one would suffice, and they may often obscure as much as they reveal. But on this matter, he was as clear as day. I do not doubt for one moment that he saw what he claims. Nor how difficult it must have been to speak about them. The 8th Umbral Calamity and your death aren't exactly topics for idle conversation. As much as I might want to go home, I don't want to go home to that. We can't allow the rejoining to happen, which means we have to save the first from the Sin Eaters. That great wall of white is a remnant of the flood.
I thought she was gonna say America.
100 years ago, the balance in the first tipped decisively in favor of light. From that moment, it rose and swelled with each passing day, and then, without warning, it burst forth like water from a broken dam. A colossal wave of pure light, drowning everything in its wake. Only Norvrant was spared. For the most part, living things are composed of ether of various different aspects. But when exposed to such a flood, their etheric harmony is shattered, and their natural form breaks down. Then they either perish, or are warped into mindless abominations. Yes, that's how the Sin Eaters came to be. They were once living creatures, or people, that were caught in the path of the flood. Once the change is wrought, there is no going back. In that instant, they are gripped by an insatiable appetite for ether, and will happily gorge themselves on any living thing within reach. But even that is not the worst of it. The stronger Sin Eaters can plant light in us, like seeds in soil, corrupting our ether, and triggering the birth
Ether?
of
I thought it's aether.
monstrosities. They are creatures of base instinct, that exist only to feed and to multiply. They feel no pity, know no remorse, and are utterly deaf to reason. Which is why they must be destroyed. Every last one of them.
You just said they're people. It's kind of
The
cool.
infirmary is full of the Sin Eaters' victims, left here to spend their final hours waiting for the change to overtake them.
Oh, that's kind of dark. Oh look, I'm in combat. No, I'm not. Wait, where am I? Oh. It's just a matter. I can't. It's just a matter of time. More for some, less for others. Those patients will all become monsters in the end. And to add insult to injury, the afflicted are feared, shunned, cast out of society, and exiled here to the edge of the world. The only good thing I have to say about this hellish place is that it has served me well as a training ground. Teslin and the others have also been kind enough to share their knowledge of the Sin Eaters, which is knowledge that I can now share with you, while you help me finish my patrol, of course. Here's what we'll do. I'll take the east side of the inn, and you clear the west. That way, you can have an undiluted experience of the resident horrors. Terrors? Horrors. These marks on your map are where the usual trouble spots are. You can assume that any beast with a white hide or a carapace is a Sin Eater, but you'll know for sure soon enough when they come slavering after your ether. Remember, it's kill or be killed with these monsters. Once you've slain whatever's prowling around out here, we can rendezvous back at the north entrance. Good hunting. Wasn't there? Oh yeah, down there. Your setup sucks? Yeah, I mean, you told me about your situation. It's not ideal yet, right? So I know that feel. What the hell? Its back was turned to me. How would he aggro me? He, it. They? How? I am so far away. right. Da, 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 da. Never mind. Poor reference. How did you fare? 2 of 3. Ah, I thought there might be one or two lurking on the fringes. Nothing out of the ordinary for this area. I expect you noticed it yourself, but individually, these lesser sin eaters are no more deadly than the natural predator you might encounter in the desert. It's when they appear in numbers that they pose a threat, much like the void scent. They have an unfortunate tendency to flock to the strongest of their kind. Thus, when a powerful sin eater goes on the hunt, it might be attended by a veritable swarm of weaker kin. Imagine an army of such creatures descending on a village or hamlet. That's the basic idea behind my patrols, to cull their ranks often enough that their numbers won't be overwhelming when the big ones come out to play. And you've certainly helped on that front. Let's report our victories to Teslan, shall we? Olise tells me you helped her out on her patrol. You have our thanks, and my apologies for leading you from one battle to another ever since the moment we met. In any case, I'm glad to see the two of you found each other. You have no idea how badly Olise has missed your company. Everything is always, if Taiwanese were here, she would... That's an exaggeration, and I don't sound like that either. I was simply trying to view matters from another perspective, and I respect Taiwanese's methods. Laughter. Honestly, after seeing her in action, I can understand why. The way she leaps into a fray without hesitation, it really is something to behold. I might be a little smitten myself. Sight backwards. Heh. I'm only teasing. Though I've no doubt she deserves all the admiration she gets, just as you do. I love to lay out a welcome meal, but the duties I put off when I went to the market are still waiting for me. There are 101 things that need doing. I'm sorry, but would you mind waiting here with Alistair? What, and twiddle our thumbs while you work yourself to death? Surely there's something we can help with. I could do with a hand, it's true. Thank you. You can start by helping me sort out the larder, Alistair. While we do that, could you tend to the few patients, perhaps? There are 3 in particular I meant to visit. It's just a matter of saying a few words to them and seeing that their skin isn't caked in sand. Their names are Paulnil, Toden, and Halric. They may not give much in the way of response, but I promise they'll be pleased to meet someone new. I think that was 7. Toden. Tend to Paulnil. Like, patting their butt? Oh, thanks. I'm miming. Toden glances up at you blankly, but you notice the tension in his face ease slightly. Well, you know, sometimes that's enough. Oh. Oh, he looks so sick. Uh-oh. Ulrich remains utterly still as you wipe the sand from his cheek. The texture of his skin has hardened into something akin to plaster. Oh, whoops. 385. I don't need that. 385. No. No. You've seen to the patients. How old were they? Good. That's good. I knew they would enjoy meeting you. I'm concerned about Halric, though. I'll have to speak with the other carriers, but I think his time may be near. We shall leave you to have that discussion then. I was going to take Taiwanese to Morsuk if you have any errands there that need doing. Well, I suppose there is one thing. Would you pick up the nectarine from the markets, please? Cassard's caravan just passed through, so Ron should have some fresh fruit. Come then, Taiwanese. There's something I want you to see right after we stop at Ron's stall, of course. Speak with Ron. Or yeah, or stop by Walmart. You right. Oh, back again, are you? You need another taste of Ron's wares? Actually, we're looking to buy a nectarine. Do you have any in stock? Oh yes, nectarines, peaches, grapes, fresh and juicy. Haha, juicy peaches. Given how richly you cracked your coin purse with me, I might still owe you food. Here, take this one, free of charge. Gods, I've never seen a merchant give away something for nothing before. How much coin did you spend here? Yes, I'll take a jar of honeyed worms as well. Oh no, they're not for me. It's an offering of sorts. The worms, if you please. Only the best wrigglers for you. Come again, my friends. Right, that's our shopping chores taken care of. Let's head up past the Aetherite to the main tower. The view I want to show you can only be seen from its very top. Here are your precious worms. That buys us a trip up. That buys us a trip to the top of the tower, does it not? Glaze wrigglers, you actually brought them. I really shouldn't let you, but just this once, all right? Only once. Never fails, shall we? But can you buy glazed wrigglers from Walmart? That is the question.
Look, over there.
Oh my god, her voice.
Do you see what lies beyond? That's what the land became after the light flooded in. An empty white nothingness.
Spoilers.
Life cannot exist in such conditions. The primordial light would wreak havoc on the body's etheric balance. That nectarine you bought, it's Halric's favorite fruit. Most of the patients, Halric included, survived the attacks of powerful eaters. But their fate was sealed all the same. The monster's corruption has entered their bodies, and their very essence is being subsumed by light. The twisted state of the world itself just makes matters worse. Under normal circumstances, a person's ether naturally tends to equilibrium.
Equilibrium? It's equilibrium. Hello, LSA?
Sooner or later, every single one of them will turn. Tesleen and the patients, they all know this. They know what has to be done before the change goes too far, before the eater within takes over. The preferred method is mixing poison into their favorite food.
Oh.
In my time here, I've borne witness to a lot of last meals.
That's awful.
I feel just as helpless as before. No matter how hard I fight, it's never enough. But it's a war I mean to wage, nonetheless. Speaking of wars, do you remember how I made you promise not to leave me and then promptly collapsed? Well, let's just say I had a few choice words for the Exarch concerning the timing of his summons. But even if the fault lay with someone else, I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd abandon you on the battlefield. So I swore that I'd make up for my absence there by making a difference here. And that's what keeps me moving forward, even when things seem hopeless. On which note, it's time we headed back. The longer we keep Tesleen waiting, the harder this will be for her.
That's still awful, though. Mixing poison into their favorite food. I'm glad I was able to show you that. When it comes to understanding the catastrophe which befell the first, one glimpse of the empty wasteland beyond the wall is worth more than an hour of Uruyanjir's lecturing. And I needed you to know beyond a doubt that Tesleen has no other choice. The nectaring will be a kindness. It isn't just a threat posed to others. When a person becomes an eater, the pain appears to be excruciating. The carers are truly fond of their wards and would spare them that suffering. It is their way of fighting back against a fate worse than death. You're back. I hope you had a nice time. Did you manage to find a nectarine? Nectarine. A plump, sweet smelling nectarine. Thank you. LSA's explained why I wanted this, has she? I can see it in your eyes. But we may not need it just yet. I spoke with the others and we've decided to keep an eye on Halric for now. Thanks to you though. If his time does come suddenly, I'll be ready to send him on his way with a taste of happier days. Well, nothing is going to happen for a little while yet, so let's see if we can't lighten the mood. We don't want our gloomy faces worrying the patients. I think it's time for that welcome meal, don't you? Take a seat and I'll make us a nice stew. Wow! Juicy peach.
Speak up if you'd like another helping. I made a little bit more than usual today.
And you've added something special to the broth, if I'm not mistaken.
Aye, well, it's not often we have visitors from the Crystarium, so I may have thrown in a few extra bits and bobs. That's what I like to hear. Give me a moment to warm up the pot. In a place like this, you learn to take what moments of happiness you can get. I remember when I first came here with my mother. She was showing the early signs. I knew there was no way to save her, but I just couldn't face what needed to be done. That's the way.
Oops.
Beaten, broken souls come to wait out the inevitable, to receive the mercy of a painless death. When my mother finally left this world, I was mad with grief, but also thankful that her passing was a peaceful one. It's never easy, ending a life you've cared for, even when you believe they go on to a better place. I often find myself wishing the Warrior of Darkness would come and do that part for me.
The Warrior of Darkness?
You've never heard the tale? I'm not sure where it began, but every child in Norvrent could tell you a version of it. Warrior of Darkness, servant of death, take care of our souls at our dying breath. Let sinners and eaters of sin go with thee, that all may return to the sunless sea. Well, that's the version I was taught anyway. It's just an old bedtime story. He's certainly never deigned to visit us here.
Which is a good thing, surely. He sounds rather ominous.
Do you think so? I always liked the idea that he treated every soul the same, even the Sin Eaters.
They're coming.
Desleen! Have you seen Halric? I swear, I only took my eyes off him for a moment.
Uh-oh. Taiwanese. Alice said we have to go look for Halric. I don't know what's gotten into him, but if he's wandering out there alone... We'll assign search areas and split up. Any idea where he might be headed? No, he's never done anything like this before. But it can't be a coincidence that the other patients are suddenly so agitated. We can sense something. In any case, let's keep the search close to the inn. Halric isn't very sure on his feet, so he won't have gone far. I'll search the east side. Please, Halric, please be alright. I'll cover the north and west. You take everything from here to the south. You see no signs of Halric. Maybe he went further west. Well, I just came from there. You scan your surrounding and search for Halric, and you find the center yourself under attack. That was seamless. Oh, go dry up, stupid lizard.
Any sign of him? No luck then. But he surely can't have gone far. We should keep looking. The Sin Eaters are out in force, and if we don't find him soon, you can be sure they will. Did you see the size of that thing? It must be one of the nasty ones. Wherever it's going, it can only mean trouble. Ah!
Turret.
There it is! Is that... Oh no! Halric!
We have to run!
Tesling! No!
Holy shit.
We all deserve happiness, wherever we can find it. The time left to you is precious. No one should die in pain. Mother, I...
I mean, oh. Sorry, Taiwanese. I tried to tell the carers what happened, but I can't be the shoulder they lean on. Not like this. Yeah, it's really fucked up. Like, the story at the end of Stormblood was like 100 to like maybe 200 at best, but this, it just shoots it up to like 500. I imagine you're just as shocked as the rest of us, so I appreciate what you're doing here. Me, I can barely. I don't have the words. Without a body, we can't even give her a proper burial. And she cared about that sort of thing. About giving people the chance to say their goodbyes. It's just so unfair. Tessling was always so cheery with the patients, telling them not to be scared, that there wouldn't be any pain. Of all the people in the world to suffer such a fate. And then this kid. Howrick is unresponsive as ever. He stands motionless, staring up in the sky where Sin Eaters made their escape. Thank you. What you're doing, it means a lot to them. To me. Sorry to interrupt. We realized we hadn't thanked you for rescuing Howrick. You weren't hurt at all, were you? Hurt? There wasn't even a fight. It was too late, too slow. And I thought I could protect you. You can't blame yourself for things beyond your control. You brought Howrick back, safe and sound. No one could have done any more. I'm sorry, but I've come to a decision. I won't be continuing in my role here. I hope you will all forgive me for leaving, and that you will delay Howrick's last meal for as long as you possibly can. Not until it's too late, of course. Just give him what time you can. We always do. Of course, she would have done the same. Farewell, Howrick. Keep Tessling's words close to your heart. Wait, you're leaving this very moment? I understand how you must feel, but surely this is a bit hasty. Do you even have anywhere to go? I have a destination in mind, yes, and a purpose. This damn light, building without seas. It's the reason we can't save those corrupted by the Eaters. But what if we corrected the balance? Even if it were only little by little, even if it took years, it would surely make things better. Now, hold on there. Everyone knows that there's too much light, but how could you ever hope to get rid of it? You'd have to change the whole world. That's right. We should return to the Crystarium. I may not be able to repel the eaters on my own, but I can still use the skills I have gained here to hurt them. Oh, come the fuck on, get away from me. Forgive me, Taiwanese. I couldn't stay there a moment longer, but I was serious about what I said. While the men and women at the inn battle against this blight with kindness, I must fight it in my own way, with steel. Miss Alice, is there anything I can get you? Your swiftest Amaro. I need to return to the Crystarium immediately. As you wish. Let's go. Remind me to wear goggles if we ever fly over Amarang again. I've barely gotten the sand out of my eyes. But the wind did help clear my head at least. I think I'm ready to meet with the Exarch. We need to talk about how we're going to wipe the Sin Eaters out, shall we? What's this? Oh. Sightseeing log. Your face is unknown to me. What business have you at my rookery? Signed by the Exarch, no less. Yes, I can provide you with an Amaro for passage to Calusia. I will pick you out a friendly whelp. And there I was expecting a chocobo. A chocobo? To hail from one of Norvan's more isolated settlements, perchance? I hear there are a few places where they ride little elves. But here in the Crystarium, mounts like that Grey Fellow, there are far more commonly used. They're gray? What the hell? Am I colorblind? Seeing as you are plainly unaccustomed to riding a Maro, I think it is best I accompany you on this flight myself. Any Zune worthy of the name could do it, of course, but the XR sent you to me. Ensuring you arrive safely is my responsibility. Gather your things and meet me at the Maro launch. One of the junior tamers will attend to you while I ready the mounts. You want to fly an Maro to Calusia? Well, I suppose if Master the Gym Mall is going with you. Wait here, please. The Master should be along with the mounts shortly. You can now travel to Calusia.
The whistling breeze, mute. The pounding surf, frozen. Time itself takes a breath. At light's edge, all is perfectly still. The world captured in a painting, locked in a moment. Music, faint and fleeting, drifts coastward on the lifeless air. And in the distance, beyond the broken earth, a city beckons.
We are arrived. This is Crackshell Beach on the eastern coast of Calusia. You should be safe here for the present. Compared to the mainland, Sin Eater attacks are far less prevalent, and the native beasts are not any more dangerous than elsewhere. It is the people you should be wary of. Spy you that city in the distance? That is Umor, the island's main settlement. It rivals the Crystarium scale, and there was once an ally in our battle against the abominations. For years, the Umoran elite have fancied themselves the masters of what remains of our broken world. They have gone as far as to offer the leaders of other settlements their protection if we bend the knee. But to say their ideals are questionable would be putting it mildly. The Crystarium is one among many who resist their heavy-handed authority, and while we are not at war, our relationship with Umor is strained at best. It may be wise to conceal your ties with the Exarch during your stay here, especially in the vicinity of the city. I am glad we understand each other. Now the Exarch has instructed me to divulge a secret that should make finding your friend a good deal easier. Listen closely. If you head south along the coast, you will eventually come to a fisherman's shack. A friend of the Crystarium lives there, a man who goes by the name of Eivor. Eivor keeps an eye on everything that happens in Calusia, and will be able to point you in the right direction. Just hand him a sprig of thyme, that will let him know you can be trusted. Here, this should be enough. Find your friend. I will stay here with the Maro until you are ready to return. Abor. What are you after? Fish? Crab? Think I've got an eel in a barrel somewhere. If you've a taste for them. Ooh, I do like I love a bit of thyme. Thyme? Whatever. Chuck some in the pan and it's a bloody festival of flavor. Now, what is it that I can do for you? Can't say as there's been any major upsets to report these past few weeks. Alpha no? Eh? I know the one. Our young champion of the downtrodden. Umar's richer than all of Norbont put together, but it's a different story for them as live outside the city. Is that English? But it's a different story for them as live outside the city. I don't think that's right. Anyways, most spend every waking moment just trying to stay alive, which makes your friend's dedication to helping others stand out all the more. I can hazard a guess as to where he is now. Get a message to him, but you'll need somewhere quiet to meet, away from prying eyes. Make for Stilltide. That's the fishing village just up the path there. You're looking for a rundown excuse for a tavern the locals call the Leaky Keel. Wait there and I'll see that Alphino joins you. Is it time or thyme? Thyme, right? Th. The Leaky Kill. This is your first time in a cavern? It's customary to buy a drink if you mean to loiter. What will we be having? Water. Mead. A fine choice. And what will you be paying with? Gil. Well now, those are exotic. Where do you come by coins like that? I'm sorry, dear. I don't doubt they have value, but I don't have a touchstone to test their purity. And I'm not about to go begging for one from the neighbors, so we'll just have to come to some other arrangements. Here's an idea. There's a common to the north where we grow our vegetables, but lately the pests have been eating more of them than we have. What do you say to a bit of extermination work? I want you to squash my vermin you find. Squash any vermin you find, then visit the caretaker and give him an earful from me for sleeping on the job. He'll be in the old silo next to the fence, snoring like as not. Do that for me and you can laze about here as long as you like. Alright, sounds good to me. Oh my goodness. Faint squeaking from the room beyond. Time to burst in and save the day, brave adventurer. No one is home, and judging by the lack of furniture, they haven't been here for some time. The gnawed scraps of vegetables on the floor suggest rats have taken up the residence in their absence. Well, I guess the dude moved out. Run. Da, 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 da. Welcome back, dear. What did that good-for-nothing caretaker have to say for himself? Rats? Gone. Must have left to join the rest of the hopefuls. In Gate Town, outside Umar? You don't have a clue what I'm talking about, do you? And there, I was thinking you were another dreamer. Well, never mind all that. Take a seat wherever you like, dear. You've more than earned it. I'll even throw in another drink on the house.
And how is business today, Mistress Theva?
Oh, frenetic. Look, I have a new customer.
Tis good to see you, my friend. The barley seeds you wanted. They should produce a better harvest than the last.
What, just like that? Oh, Alfino, you really are a dear. Well, I'd best be tidying up some of those empty shacks before the pests move in. Keep an eye on the place while I'm out, eh?
It seems an age since last we spoke. Not since the prisoner exchange in Doma. And Yotsu. It has been even longer for me, of course, if you count the days I've spent here. But the time has only added to the relief I feel seeing you safe and well. Huh. Alize said much the same thing. I don't think I've ever had such a scolding. But I believe an exchange of news is in order. Come, tell me of your arrival and all that came before. I see. Both the Exarch and Alize told me what they knew of events, but I had stubbornly clung on to the hope that all-out war might yet be avoidable. And poor Tataru. She must be sick with worry. We must endeavor to return as soon as we may. It would be nice to bring her good tidings for a change. But before we bid this world farewell, we must first ensure that it is not rejoined to the source. We must prevent the 8th Umbral calamity. Urianger's vision of the future has, I fear, every chance of coming true. By his description, the catalyst for the calamity was a formless and deadly weapon employed by the Garlean Empire. Which can only mean one thing. Black Rose. Gaius was telling you the truth. When we were on the trail of the Asians, we saw evidence that the gas was being manufactured once more. Gaius was adamant that the project had been scrapped. But so long as there are wars to be waged, there will always be those determined to win by any means. And thus simply destroying the existing stores of Black Rose would do little to alter fate's course. In that sense,
yeah, this is
our
a different
involuntary
voice
journey
actor.
here to the first was something of a boon.
Alphino's voice actor for English has changed like 5 times, like one for each expansion.
Together with the Exarch, we've developed a theory as to how we believe the rejoining will be set in motion. I'm sure Urianger himself will cover the subject in more detail. But I can tell you the process requires that both worlds, the Source and the First,
Is this
be
floating?
facing an existential threat.
It's float. Oh, no, it's from an angle, and this is a shadow. I thought this wine bottle was floating. Like, what the hell?
One being Sin Eaters, of course. They are a menace that I would dearly love to remove, and not just to avert a calamity. I may be a stranger to this world, but I will not stand idly by and let innocent people be slaughtered. That is what brought me to the gates of Yulmore. Ignoring its pretensions as a kind of capital city to what remains of the world, it is nonetheless a center of power and authority. If any solutions are to be found, I believe our search should begin there. What say you, old friend? Hungry for another adventure? And so we take to the road once more.
Mastering a beast. What's this? Oh. I had twin to this, right? Oh, yep. This isn't even a Aether current. It's a self. Southeast. Oh. It's so ominous. Calusia seems peaceful, does it not? Almost familiar? I had a similar impression of the Crystarium, even in this distant world, or much the same. To think that whenever a calamity struck the source, a reflection such as this one, with all its culture and history, was being erased from existence. No! No! Get away from me! Over there! Quickly, someone's in trouble. Oh, thanks. My poor heart. Thank you, young miss. Ah, there you are. In my haste, I lost my bearings. Ha ha ha. But I see you have the situation well in hand. Fine work. Are you alright, madam? The hell? Just a few bruises from where I fell. Nothing compares to what was in store for me before this brave soul came to my rescue. I honestly thought I was done for. My feet are not as swift as they once were, and I knew there was no one left to hear me scream. Not that I had let that stop me. I should probably leave my old house behind and queue up outside Humor with the rest. Doubt those fancy lords and ladies would welcome an old crone like me. Still, even a shack near the gate has to be safer than staying here. One would hope. Either way, I suggest you avoid wandering alone, lest you make the Sin Eaters' task any easier. Ah, thank you again. You saved my life. Now, I'm sure a strapping lass like you has little to fear, but I wouldn't linger long in this place. There's naught to be had here but cobwebs and memories. Ah, my ankle! Tis as the lady says, many in these parts have abandoned their homes to live in Umor Shadow. Should the Sin Eaters descend upon this region, there are precious few with the strength to fight them off. Speaking of which, what have you been told of these monsters? Ah, yes. LSA would be well qualified to speak on the subject. Compared with Amarang, Calusia is almost a haven. But as you saw, we cannot let our guard down. Had you arrived a few moments later, the Sin Eaters would have claimed another victim. Still, we have won a small victory this time, at least. Now, shall we press on? We need to return to where the road forks and follow the path that leads west. Oh, but that doesn't aggro me? Okay.
That gate up ahead is known as the Open Arms, and Yulmore itself lies beyond. This, meanwhile, is the aptly named Gate Town, the dwelling place of the many desperate souls who hope to be chosen to live in the city proper.
Ah, I thought I recognized you. Brought a new friend, eh? I'll bet you got a trick or two up your sleeve. Maybe even 3. Care to show me?
She's not here to compete. Leave her be.
What? I was only making conversation.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please! Greetings to our hopeful petitioners, one and all. Yulmore extends its warmest regards. Let it be known that a lady of distinction wishes to dine on fish divine. We seek a master culinarian who can guarantee seafood perfection. Dazzle the matron with your delicious dishes, and life in the city will be yours to enjoy, even on days when fish is not on the menu. Who among you will answer the call? Name yourself or another. We may not at all.
Was there anyone?
What about that girl?
Do you recall how I said Yulmore was a center of power and authority? Well, that is not the only reason for its fame. It is also known as the City of Final Pleasures. The noble and the wealthy who survived the flood gathered here to live out the rest of their days in decadent abandon. A poor man could sooner pass through the Iron Needle than Yulmore's gates. The only way the common folk can enter this perverted paradise is if they fulfill the whim of one of the privileged. And so they are picked over like market produce.
At Walmart.
What a catch! We'll not be throwing this one back. Having seen your all too obvious charms, we welcome you with open arms. Come, join us in a city of splendor and live out your life in an ecstasy of endeavor. Oh, just look at those expectant faces. What could you possibly be waiting for? Well, what have we here? An extra share of meal to celebrate our newest resident! For you!
Ah, look!
Enjoy!
Thank goodness.
Meal is a foodstuff which Yulmore routinely doles out to the people of Gate Town, and apparently a staple for its citizens as well. Many here rely on it to survive in these times of scarcity. Yet the whole arrangement just seems... well, let us just say it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
No pun intended. That's a wicked smile if I've ever seen one. Now you understand why my attempts to enter the city have thus far come to naught. The dubious privilege of residency must be won via contest with ever-changing rules. They say this policy has been in place for the past 2 decades, ever since Umor's current ruler came into power. Yet from what I have seen, it does more harm than good. Not only does it distract people from our shared struggle against the Sin Eaters, it robs them of their self-sufficiency. I have tried to propose ways they could improve their lot, but my words invariably falls on deaf ears. The attitude is so entrenched now, I worry that, well, mayhap you should take a turn around. You should take a turn around Gate Town and judge the situation for yourself. Just look at it. Can you imagine a more beautiful city? Every day I dream of a life that waits for me inside those walls. Oh, will they ever pick me? Let's see, how would I get up here? No. Can't even jump on this. Oh. Okay. I thought that was it. Well, that was much easier than I thought. Oh, you can't even jump on the rooftops. Wow. Still here, are you? Can't blame you for wanting a slice of Umor's pie. If you ask me, you should ditch that sour-faced brat and make a home for yourself here. Gate Town's not much to look at, eh? But at least it's safe, and the meal is the best thing I've ever tasted. I think that was his voice that they gave him. Can't really do that voice well, but you know. You've seen what Gate Town has to offer. These people can no longer fend for themselves. They become so dependent on handouts of meal and believe Umor is the answer to their woes. Yet no matter how I frame my encouragement, they seem unwilling, nay, unable to conceive of any other way of life. disapprove. It frustrates me, certainly. That's the only part of it, though. The whole situation makes me uneasy. Not that it matters. However unjust the system seems to me, if these people claim to be content with their lot, it is hardly my place to criticize their choices. But take that elderly lady you rescued. Does it not seem that those who have chosen to forego Umor's largesse are doomed to suffer for their independence? In the end, they are all but forced to seek refuge in Gate Town, and so hamlets and fields across the island are left empty and untended, hastening the region's descent into ruin. Nay, I am not convinced that Umor's generosity truly serves the best interests of Calusian's people. I am not so naive as to think there is some miraculous solution to all of this, yet I cannot help but frown at the sight of hard-working villagers struggling to survive, even as the chosen few rejoice at being plucked from poverty by the hand of a capricious noble. There has to be a better way. I will not know for sure, however, until I have taken those long-delayed steps through Umor's gates. 'Tis fortunate that you arrived when you did, Taiwanese. I have been working on a scheme to insinuate myself into the city, and if it all goes to plan, it should soon come to fruition. There is a beast tribe who makes its home in the seas surrounding the island, the Ondo, they are called, though you and I know them as Sahagin. For the most part, they keep to themselves in the ocean grottos and rarely have dealings with land dwellers. But as Tataru took such great pains to impress upon me during our stay in Kugane, business favors the bold, and so I reached out to them. I dully discovered that the Ondo are inordinately fond of land-grown produce, fresh fruits in particular. And when I offered to procure such goods for them, they promised to pay me in pearls. An attractive business venture for any prospective investor, would you not agree? Surely, even the most jaded and Morin lord would have time for a merchant who can make pearls from plums and pumpkins. Yes, I've come a long way since my days of buying samurai swords without first negotiating a price. Well, Alphino. My appointment with the Ondo is due to take place in a few hours. I just need to collect the produce and meet with them on the shore. Might you help me make the exchange? Alright, good night. Thanks again, man. Holy shit. That's 1,020 biddies. It's a lot. But yeah, it's getting late. I might call it soon too. But yeah, good night, man. First things first then, we must pay a visit to Mosho Moa, my supplier and right. Come, it is just northwest of here. Oh shit, we have a spy. It's down there. Is there something I can do for you, friend? Good day to you, Moshimoa. This is my associate Taiwanese, or my Taiwanese associate. We are here to collect the produce I purchased. Eh? I loaded your lackey up with the goods not too long ago. My lackey? I know of no such person. Mr. Lad? Short blue hair? No? He said he'd come on your behalf. And since he seems to know all the details, I just assumed... Confound it. Someone must have been eavesdropping on our conversation. If this charlatan was here not long ago, he cannot have gone far. We should split up and search the area. You find a vantage point on the south side of town. I shall take the west. I know it's him, but seeing if there's any goofs. This creature is making no effort to avoid detection, and that is also not a mistle. That's the goof I was looking for. You have located your quarry. Any sign of him? You're out that way. You have a keen eye. Let us move in before he makes good his escape. Who can say?
There you are.
The thief who claims the harvest on my behalf. Hand it over.
Forgive me. I have to get into the city. I have no family and all my friends have already been chosen. No one here gives a damn about me. When the meal gets handed out, I'm lucky if I get a smell of it. No matter what I do, they won't call out my name. I'm so tired, I'm so bloody hungry. I thought maybe I could steal your idea, get in that way.
What is your name?
Kai Shear.
Tell me then, Kai Shear, must it be Yulmore or nothing? What of the Christarium? They may not offer charity, but you would be fairly compensated for any work you did.
No, it has to be Yulmore.
But why?
That's where all my friends are. We made a promise that we'd live together in paradise.
I was to make my deal with the Ondo at the Clave. Listen carefully, and I shall tell you my plans for the business, and how best to arouse the Yulmorans' interest.
You'll give me your place? Just like that?
I'm giving you a chance, nothing more. What comes of it is entirely up to you.
I understand. Oh, thank you, thank you!
This was but one path. There will be others. But for young Kai Shear, it was the difference between life and death. I do not regret my decision, yet I will admit that a part of me wonders if it was for the best. We strive to bring swift salvation to this world, that countless lives might be saved, not least your own. Even if it came at the cost of one man, should I have forged on regardless? I suppose not. Were Estinian here, he would most likely scoff at my soft-heartedness.
Same old Alfino, ever the slave to sentiment.
Nice voice acting.
But I thank you for your kind words nonetheless. Let us see to it that both these stories have a happy ending. Shall we return to Wright then? Is that? I can't be sure, but I think someone's in trouble. Come on, they may need our help.
get here so fast? That should take care of the worst of his injuries. Mercy. Mercy, I beg you. Breathe easy, sir. No harm will come to you here. The poor man is shivering. Pray keep an eye on him while I get a fire going. I thought for certain I was dead. How am I ever to repay this kindness? We'll settle for the tale behind your current predicament. Why don't you begin by telling us your name? Tristal. I was invited into Umor to serve as an artist. A wealthy couple took me in to paint pictures for them, but when my style proved contrary to their taste, they just as quickly turfed me out onto the street. I was left penniless and patronless, a grave sin in Lord Voltry City. Within days, they had brought me before the man himself, and he asked me what I meant to do. Dejected as I was, I told him that I wished to leave. Little did I know how soon he would grant me my wish. They flung me over the balustrade into the goddamned ocean. God's damned. From up there? How were you not dashed to pieces? Don't ask me. Luck, I suppose. Though, if you hadn't found me when you did, it would have counted for much. Monstrous. And the citizens condone such barbaric punishment? That's right. Oh, without a second thought, when Lord Voltry passes judgment, no one so much as blinks, let alone argues. In Umor, his word is law. The more I hear about Umor, the more determined I am to see what waits within its walls. I shall bend all my thoughts towards securing another way into the city. There must be something we can do. But first, we should convey Tristal to the shelter of the village. Fire or no fire, he needs to be out of this chilly coastal air. A way into the city? Pray accept my deepest gratitude. I owe you both my life. And if you'll permit me, I would assist you in your attempt to enter Umor, insofar as I am able at any rate. To be frank, the thought of sending my saviors into that awful place makes me sick to the stomach, but since it's plain you've set your minds on it, you should take this. It's my favorite paintbrush. The Umoran elite are never satisfied until they get exactly what they want, and if I'm not mistaken, the couple I mentioned will be looking for someone to replace me. If you make a show of owning such a well-used brush, you may be able to convince people you have a talent for painting. Are you certain? This is your livelihood. We cannot deprive you of such a treasured possession. I give it gladly after all you've done for me. Besides, I don't think I have the heart to paint anymore. As to what I'll do instead, I honestly haven't decided. And I shan't stay long in this place, not with that city brooding over me. Nay, I'll move on to new lands and a new profession, and I'll keep you in my prayers from now until my dying day. They say kindness is its own own reward, but Tristal has repaid us with a gift as timely as it was unexpected. We will, however, need to act upon his advice before another painter steps in to fill the vacancy. Thankfully, I do have some modest skill with a brush, nothing approaching that of a true artist, of course, but enough to play the role, I would hope. As for you, well, if you don't mind taking a subordinate role, mayhap you could pose as my assistant? Then it is settled. All we need to do now is to return to Gate Town and wait the next appearance of those vile jesters. Oh, there's all these Aether Current quests. The noise. Eh? Something I can do for you, stranger? Well, beat me with a hammer. Has it been that long? I was aiming to salvage the planks from this old hall, but she's given me more trouble than I bargained for. Bit of a waste to leave all this lumber lying around. Not much call for our seaworthy ships since lighting up half the world, you understand? So I reckon it would be better for a woodworker like me to put it to good use. These boards, though, they're so tightly joined I can't pull the bleeding things loose. Here, do me a favor and sprinkle some of this powder on the joints along the keel. I'll keep working on this end, and with any luck, I can make it home before the wife stomps down here to fetch me herself. That should do the trick. Powdered fire crystal is the best thing for melting wood glue. Just pour a little water and the steam will take care of the rest. This ought to be a one-man job now, thanks to you. Oh, and if you could let the noise know I'll be done in an hour, then you'll have helped me out of 2 rough spots today. What did I tell you? I was barely 10 steps out of the village. Come, let us hurry along before predators have a chance to gather. $590. 400. Okay. But they direct crit. Thank you for escort, Taiwanese. This is gentleman I wish to speak with, so we needn't go any further. Say Luke. Are you wandering around by yourself out here? You know what kind of creatures lurk beyond the borders of the village. Ah, well, if it isn't Clifton's little girl, something I can do for you, lass? Yes, sir. I came for an answer to my proposal from the other day. Have you given any thought to taking over as village mayor? I'm doing the best I can in the interim, but I have neither the age nor the wisdom to continue in the role, and the rest of the villagers agree with me. I'm fairly sure I said nay once already. But seeing as you found a guard just so you could come and talk to me, then mayhap I will consider the idea in exchange for a few tasks. You will? Please, just tell me what I need to do. My friend, Clifton, your dear father, was looking for a sickle to cut some rope. Would you mind skipping back to the village and borrowing one for me? What? Why would you... I mean, a sickle, was it? For cutting rope? That shouldn't be too difficult. I had only meant to ask you along for the one trip, but if I'm to complete these tasks, would you be willing to indulge me a while longer? Good day to you, young Euless. You look a little flustered, dear. Was there something I could help you with? And a good day to you, madam. I was actually hoping to borrow a sickle. Is that all? Here, you can take this one. I have several spares, so there's no rush in returning it. During a spot of harvesting, are you? My thanks, and it's not for me exactly. I was asked to bring one for my father. Your father? Shadow, save me. What? Why? Forgive me. If you're to accompany me in these tasks, then you deserve to know the whole story. It was my father, Clifton, who was the former mayor of Wright. And the incident I spoke of earlier was something that happened a year ago. One day, a stray sin-eater came prowling around and slaughtered nearly half the village. It was a waking nightmare. Some of the villagers blamed my father. They said it was because he refused to accept the protection of Umor. The sheer scale of the tragedy and accusations that followed wore away at his conscience until finally he could bear the guilt no longer. He hung himself. Luke, the old man we spoke to, was his closest friend. But considering how he worded his request, it seems he's reluctant to accept the fact of my father's death. Still, I would see this task to its end. Let us bring him his sickle, shall we? Oh, that's dark. I'm sure there's a whole chain quest behind that, but holy shit. Luke, sir, we've brought the sickle you've asked for. Oh, good, good. Old Clifton will be glad to see this. Oh, sir. Thank you for staying with me, Taiwanese. This might be harder than I expected. I'm sure there's more quests to it, but maybe another time. He's alright then? Well, that's a relief. Wright's had its share of troubles, and a wife does worry. The noise. What? He had you helping strip planks? The cheek of that man. Still, we're lucky his father taught him the trade at all, even if he uses those skills to take ships apart instead of building them. A woodworker puts food on the table, so I'm grateful to his family for keeping up their traditions, and I'm grateful to you for bringing me peace of mind. Please, take this for your kindness. I don't know why you have an Aether current woman, but, you know, thanks.